Very pleased to be joined now by Tim Elliott up against Matheus Nicolau this weekend. Tim, icon of the game. You've been in the game for a long time. Do you still love the game? Do you still get that excitement going into a fight like this?
Man, there was a time where that was kind of going away, and I thought I was going to have to look for something else. But just here lately, I'm better now, and I'm more excited now, and I'm having more fun now than I've ever had in fighting, and just in life in general. With my team, my coaches, my wife, things just couldn't be better right now. Everything's just kind of falling in place. Almost too good to be true, I feel like.
How have you managed to rediscover that spark? I mean, a 2-fight win streak helps. I know your wife is a fighter as well, so I don't know, if you're a normal person and you work in a coffee shop and your wife works in a coffee shop, do you get sick of drinking coffee? I don't know. Like, how do you keep being in love with it if it's all around you all the time?
Man, I just live in the life. I have to submerge myself in it. But I got a little new fire with just these new guys coming in. I don't want to say new guys, these younger guys coming into the gym. When you're a 125 pounder, that's what you get. You get the 20-year-old guys. And man, we got Jeff Molina and there's 18, 19-year-old kids in our gym, Dylan. And I'm the old dude that's been in the UFC, and these guys want to, they want to beat that guy's ass. And man, most days I'm getting my ass beat by these guys. And it's just fun to see these young dudes who don't even have their like man bodies yet, or their man strength yet, to where I got to muscle them down and shit, do everything I can, give them full on UFC rounds just for them to be like, oh man, I almost had you, or they do get me. It's I don't know, it's kicked my ego a little bit to have these young dudes busting me up. And man, I don't know. I'm learning more now. Man, things are just going good. I can't even explain it.
Well, you're the 9th ranked flyweight in the world in the UFC. Does that feel good, or do you feel like you want more? You want to get higher? Do you feel top 5 title run is on the cards?
I mean, that's what this fight's for. I think he's 7, I'm 9. Whoever wins this one should be pushing that envelope. I would like to get this win and then maybe get that rematch with Askarov, or man, I don't know. There's a bunch of good fights right now. It's an exciting time to be a flyweight. And I think that's another part is like, there was so many years where being a flyweight was like, it was just a downer. Like, people hated it. They were talking about getting rid of it. And like right now it's exciting. People love the flyweights. They put on, they're always going to be a good fight. And man, it's an exciting time right now.
It's really interesting to hear you say that. I was going to ask you about that because I feel like almost liking flyweights is almost like the cool thing to do right now. And I feel
it's getting cool.
I feel sorry for one man, I guess, Demetrious Johnson. He spent so many years being a legend of the game. He still is. And he went away and literally, like you say, they were talking about getting rid of it. DJ leaves and now everyone's like, oh, what's the next flyweight bout? Do you feel sorry for DJ?
No, man. DJ left with a whole bunch of hardware, and a lot of guys. He paved the way for us guys, and hopefully he made a fair share of money, and I'm sure that he's doing okay, and his legacy stands tall no matter what, popularity or not. You can't deny his success, and man, I mean, obviously I fought 5 rounds with the guy, and he's something special. He's not an ordinary man, that guy.
At the moment, speaking of extraordinary guys, we got Figueiredo and the rematch. It should be pretty special. I mean, those guys are creating something special at the top of the division. How close an eye are you keeping on what's going on there with Moreno and Figueiredo?
Oh man, always watching, not just as a competitor, but as a fan. But I just don't see Figueiredo being able to make the adjustments to catch up to Brandon. I see Brandon making big improvements since leaving Tijuana and being in Vegas full time. I don't think that Figueiredo can make those adjustments where he's at. I think he would have to make some kind of big move to make those kind of adjustments to catch up to Brandon. Brandon just looks like he's on another level right now.
It's incredible, especially when you look at somebody like Pantoja, who seemed to have his number, right? Is that what's destined to happen? Do you think a trilogy between those two? And if that's the case, does Moreno retain the belt?
It's hard to say. Like I said, right now is a good time to be a flyweight. Anything could happen. There's a lot of guys knocking on that door. It's not just Figueiredo. There's a lot of guys. So, who knows? I got a big challenge ahead of me coming on Saturday. So I'm not thinking too much ahead of that. Again, I just sit back and watch those guys from a fan aspect until, you know, I get my next call.
Were you impressed that Nicolau managed to beat Manel Kape? Because he's a rising champion. He's super talented. Was that a sign for you of how good he is?
Yeah, well, I thought Kape actually won that fight, in my opinion. And whenever Sue fell out, they offered Manuel, right? I think it was 6 days notice or something. And I was like, like if you give me a few months or something, and then the Nicolau fight got offered. So I was like, same fight. I might as well take the guy who, you know, is on a winning streak. I think Kape is 0-2 in the UFC right now. And like you said, he's a hammer. So that's another thing you have to deal with right now is the top 5 and top 10 guys are good, but all the guys in the division are really good. They got rid of it. I mean, there's no slack to pick up. You can't take an easy fight. They got rid of all those guys. There's a bunch of hammers in the division, and that's just what you're going to get. So I just was lucky enough to not be forced in a position to have to take a fight. So I got the fight that we wanted. It's a ranked fight. The winner here should be put in the top 5, and that, you know, excited to see where it goes from there.
Are you somebody who just, if you lose a fight, do you just move on from it, draw a line on it, or does it bug you? Like, do you want to get the Figueiredo one back? If you're going into the top 5, he then comes back into your sight line.
Yeah, you know, it just depends on the fight. I for sure like the Figueiredo fight, the Askarov fight. I would for sure like back. There's fights that I would want for certain reasons, but then there's fights like the Brandon Royval fight. Like, not that I wouldn't take that fight, but I got to live with that loss no matter what. I quit in that fight. I was in no shape to take the fight, and I'm gonna have to live with that till the day that I die. Beating him wouldn't solve that. I still got to live with the fact that I quit in there, you know, at my job, and that's not easy for me to do. But you know, the Askarov fight, I feel like I just had a bad game plan, and like I feel like that's a fight that I need to get back, and that I should get back. But man, I just kind of play it as it goes. I'm good at losing. I know that's hard to hear, but it doesn't bother me. I've been losing at shit my whole life, so it doesn't take anything out of me to lose. It sucks, and you get half your paycheck, and having a kid that really is, you know, that's an issue to deal with. But no, losing doesn't affect me like Gina, for example. It crushes my wife. It kills her to lose. It bothers her for months and months. I don't know. My only losses that bother me like that are like the Brandon Royval fight, for, you know, going out, taking a fight I shouldn't have taken, and quitting on TV. Like, those are the only regret ones.
Was it cool for you to see the Diaz Lawler fight recently? You know, 2 guys from that OG generation still banging, 38, 39, I think. And then Robbie coming up to him and kind of being like, "You good, man?" That was a nice moment, I think, in MMA history. What did you make of it?
Man, I loved it. And I love watching it. And both those guys, like you said, that's the great thing about combat sports is like these old guys are doing it. Old guys are boxing again and fighting MMA. It's not necessarily a young man sport. There's, if you have a good fight IQ and a good game plan, like you can compete if you do it right. And again, it's inspiring to see those guys, you know, still making money and still like putting on a show like that and filling arenas. Like, it gives me hope yet.
It's an honor to speak to you, mate, for the first time. Respect. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, man, anytime. I appreciate it.